I've been having these weird thoughts lately.
When I think back to being 11 years old in the now far off year of 2002, I remember the world feeling a lot smaller. I mean, the actual literal world hasn't gotten any bigger, not that I've heard of anyway, but that time in my life, my world fit inside of a couple of streets and some school hallways. And when it came to the world of my imagination, it was the size of whatever movies I saw and whatever shows that were on TV after school.
The children leave their homes in search of this quest.
My mom was a huge Disney fan, so I grew up just marinating in animated Disney movies.
Don't you wish you'd bought the video cassette of Lady and the Tramp when you had the chance? Now it's gone.
And I loved cartoons too. I was that kid who wanted to be the main character. Ash Ketchum,
I will be a Pokemon master.
Tommy Oliver.
But as me, plain old Tommy.
Yeah, I wanted to be that guy, and I wanted to go on an adventure. And back then, an adventure wasn't some sort of metaphysical life journey where you just grapple with big abstract questions. Adventure just meant something cool was gonna happen, like Lord of the Rings. To me, was about some guys carrying the One Ring to Mount Doom down in Mordor.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
It was Ash Ketchum running around the Pokemon world trying to catch them all. This was the state of mind I was in when, I first saw the Kingdom Hearts on the Disney Channel.
What's the deal with Kingdom Hearts? Kingdom Hearts is the...
It was the weird, sort of mysterious commercial, and my tiny brain just lit up like Christmas. On my living room TV, I witnessed this kid was like really cool spiky hair teaming up with none other than Donald the Duck and Goofy the Dog?
What really happened here?
He was out here fighting shadow monsters, and he summoned the Simba of the Lion King to help take him down. All while a dance remix of Hikaru Utada was playing in the background. As you can imagine, this was the coolest thing I had ever seen in my whole life. These familiar characters showing up was just amazing to see. It was fun to see all of them interacting with a kid just like me, and I was just pulled in instantly. Well, the funny thing was that I didn't even have a PlayStation 2 at the time.
It's the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system at Walmart.
So I couldn't play it for myself. What I did was take my bike, ride over to a neighbor kid's house.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my...
And just watch him play. It was pretty much a Let's Play before a Let's Play.
Who should I be now? I don't know. I think I'll be Big Zap.
Before, YouTube at all. Actually, Destiny Island hits different now as I'm older and able to reflect on it. I get this familiar feeling looking at it now. It didn't look like my hometown. We didn't have palm trees or wooden bridges, but my hometown was small. And I mean that it was small for sure. It's grown a lot since then. But when I lived there, everyone knew who you were, or at least knew who your parents were. Comforting in that weird way that only small towns can be. Destiny Islands captured that feeling perfectly. A tiny place where you can get that feeling that the outside world of this place feels like it would be huge, but only because you really haven't seen much of it yet. A place where it's just you and your two best friends, dreaming about leaving, sitting and planning something stupidly impossible.
You've been thinking a lot lately, haven't you?
That's how childhood felt. Everything is potential, but not a lot is happening right now. Everything is in front of you and not a lot next to you. Kingdom Hearts nails that. The opening hours of racing against Riku, talking to Kairi at the sunset, imagining worlds beyond your own. The fantasy of sitting in your hometown, daydreaming about what your life might become. I didn't know it back then, but these scenes were going to end up representing something a lot bigger than me. Because Destiny Islands wasn't just the start of the game, but also the start of my own adventure too. Before the darkness hit and before life got hard, before losing the things you didn't think you could lose. Things are still innocent, still warm, and still bright on that little island where you believe everything is just going to be okay. And honestly, that's something nostalgic looking back on that version of yourself.
We'll never know by staying here.
The kid who wants to see more of the world, who sees the world worth exploring, a kid that isn't afraid, and even if that's because he has no idea what the hell he's getting himself into. There's a moment in Kingdom Hearts 1 that hits way harder when you're older. It's not a big fight or a flashy cutscene or a major plot twist. It's that moment when the storm hits Destiny Islands, where you're forced into the wider world, ready or not. When I moved away from my hometown at 15, that's exactly what it felt like. One day, everything was familiar, same faces, streets, routine, and then bam, suddenly, all that slips away. That adventure that you were thinking about is now forced upon you, and it's different from what you even imagined. And now, you gotta cope with it. It felt like being ripped away, although not really like being torn apart, swallowed by darkness or anything dramatic like that. But even so, you can't go back, not even if you wanted to. Starting over is terrifying. Nobody can really prepare you for that part.
What happened to my home? My island? Riku! Kairi!
The not knowing where you fit in anymore. The unknown is scary. You ask yourself, what's this new place going to be like? Are these people here going to be like me? Who am I supposed to be now? It's the kind of fear you don't admit out loud when you're a teenager. I mean, I didn't. I was expected to be edgy and show that I don't care about anything. In the game, Sora ends up in Traverse Town, literally dropped into a world he doesn't know. He's surrounded by strangers.
Ah! This isn't a dream.
He's confused and probably not as scared as a 14-year-old, should actually be.
Do you know where we are?
But he's trying desperately to try and find his friends. And honestly, that was me. And, well, between 11 and 14, I ended up getting a PlayStation 2 of my own, and Kingdom Hearts 1 became one of my comfort games when I was just going through it that time in, my life. I keep reflecting on living through these themes in real life. Losing your old world hurts, and starting a new one is terrifying. But both of those things can, help you grow and improve. After all, didn't you used to hope to, venture out? You just weren't expecting the negatives that come along with it. The same ones that you have to figure out and how to deal with. The hardest parts of that might not just be the new place either, but instead what was left behind. Your old friends are living their lives just now without you. They grow, they change, and they have had experiences that you aren't a part of. They're having their own adventures, and you aren't there. You can't talk about Kingdom Hearts without talking about friendship.
I don't need a weapon. My friends are my power.
It's cliche, very 80s cartoon-like, but you got the touch! Kingdom Hearts does focus on real friendships, the messy, competitive kind where love and jealousy sit right next to each other, sharing a cold one. Both Sora and Riku showed this off very well. When I was younger, I really was a lot like Sora, lighthearted, easygoing, wanting to be friends with everyone, wanting to include people, wanting to have fun, and assumed the world was way brighter than it actually was.
Kingdom Hearts is light!
You don't realize how rare that innocence is until you get older and you feel that slipping away. The part of you where you just didn't have to worry about being enough, not comparing yourself to anyone. Boy, do I miss that kid. Somewhere along the road of growing up, life gets more complicated, and you also, get more complicated. Enter Riku.
So, I guess I'm the only one working on the raft.
The cool rival, the edgy one. One might even say the Sasuke of the series. You just can't beat him, not without a lot of hard work. He's smarter, stronger, cooler. You can't quite keep up. Maybe one day you can. I can't talk about Riku and not mention Kairi.
So you know this.
In the Paoipu Fruit as well.
A Paoipu Fruit?
This goofy looking little star fruit thing might unironically be the most romantic thing I ever seen in media, at least at the age of 11. Sharing the Paoipu Fruit means that your lives and destiny become intertwined forever. As an adult, I think it's really cute metaphor for young love.
Come on, I know you want to try it.
Riku teases Sora about sharing the fruit with Kairi, brings back memories of being, awkward about the girl that, you like, and not knowing you even understand your own feelings for a person. Of course, Sora gets flustered about this. Riku and Sora's rivalry is on display here too.
If I win, I'm captain. And if you win,
I get to share the Paoipu with Kairi. Deal? The winner gets to share a Paoipu with Kairi.
wait a minute.
And Riku claims that he will share it with her to try and rile up Sora. Guys fighting? Always a girl at the root of the issue. I'm definitely talking about from personal experience here. Riku's also a guy that's willing to take
I'm not afraid of the darkness.
a darker path, maybe one you can't or aren't willing to exactly follow. He doesn't want to abandon Sora, but he goes it alone. When Sora starts traveling with Donald and Goofy, we see the resentment start. Like a lot of friendships, there is just a lot of misunderstanding. Sora is traveling the world looking for the king, his friends, and saving people because it's the right thing to do. Riku has been out looking for Sora and Kairi because that's usually what the older brother friend type is like. He doesn't care about strangers, not gonna get involved, just focused on his loved ones. He believes Sora has just been goofing off the whole entire time, being immature, and then this starts the resentment on his side. When resentment creeps in, you start doing more reckless, dangerous, or stupid things to accomplish your ends. We see Riku use more power of darkness, gets groomed by Maleficent, and uses others
I have some unfinished business with this puppet.
like Pinocchio for his own goals, as long as it gets him closer to, save Kairi. All of that comes to head in Hollow Bastion. I'm gonna take a quick sidebar here because this plays more into the themes that both Riku and Sora deal with, and this is the whole plot with the Keyblade. While Destiny Islands has been like being engulfed by darkness, Riku willingly jumps through it, but Sora immediately gets the Keyblade and is able to actually fight off the Heartless. When you're a kid, there's a fantasy that you're, special by default, that you're destined for greatness, that the universe has you on a path, the chosen one, as the media says. Growing up teaches you something much different. You aren't chosen, you aren't guaranteed anything, and you are not owned by destiny. You have to become someone through what you choose to do, not what you're born to be. And that's what Sora is. He isn't the prodigy or, prodigal son or the golden child. He's just a good kid. A kid that doesn't give up because the Keyblade just picks him because he was there and it was just not intended for him, but another.
So this is called a Keyblade?
Riku is better suited to be the hero. He had the talent, the confidence, the ambition. He's stronger, he's more mature. In Hollow Bastion, we learned that the Keyblade was meant for Riku and chose Riku, not Sora. To rub salt in the wound, Donald and Goofy both hesitantly follow the Keyblade Master. They have strict orders to make sure to help the Keyblade Master and restore the world order.
Gotta protect the world border. Right, world border.
Damn, they really just ditched my boy. This scene hits hard because you went on these adventures and you did so much good as you can, and it doesn't matter because you're really not the hero.
You were just the delivery boy.
And the friends you made don't seem to care. But in spite of this, Sora just gets himself up, picks up a wooden sword, and remembers that the magic he gained on his adventure, so he isn't at a loss. It also doesn't help you have a beast of a party member helping you out. People make mistakes, and sometimes they don't realize that until later. But what matters is what they do about it. When Sora confronts Riku one last time, Riku blasts Sora with darkness. Goofy jumps in front of the blast because he realized that defending his friend is more important than blindly following orders.
But I'm not gonna betray Sora either.
Donald immediately follows him, and we get to the core of the series, about choosing to stand with the ones you care about even when things get dark. It's about the bonds we forge in the trenches together and the adventure we go on, this wild ride that we call life. I'm lucky to have friends that have stayed, showed up, and carried the load when things were just, too heavy on my own. Having friends like that matters. Sora and Riku are reflections of each other. When one succeeds over the other one, they tend to make drastic decisions. This is no different for Riku either. Resentment and frustration are powerful things that can make you do more stupid shit.
Let your heart, your being, become darkness itself.
Turning fully to the darkness to get more power because you just can't handle your dumbass best friend actually beating you. In this case, the power overcomes you and then you're just not yourself anymore. And then there was a secret old man that makes you into a Muppet that wants to cast darkness over all of the worlds. Ansem, the game's actual antagonist, now controls Riku's body, and who Sora has to face at the end of the adventure. Now, let's talk about the other thing of Kingdom Hearts, which is sacrifice. The whole game long, Sora is trying to track down Riku and Kairi. He succeeds in finding Riku, but Kairi is still missing with no signs of.
Isn't she with you?
Last we saw of her, she's baited into Sora on Destiny Islands while it was being consumed by darkness. Riku ends up finding Kairi's body on the adventure, but it turns out her heart is missing. So he's on a mission to find that. Well, turns out that Kairi's heart is inside of Sora's heart.
Kairi's inside me?
Real confusing stuff for someone not in the fandom. Yeah, it just works like that. The only way to free her is by using the Keyblade of Darkness that was forged by the captured hearts of the 6 other Princesses of Hearts.
Oh.
Looking back on it, that is a whole lot of terms that mean absolutely nothing. Let me back up a second. So, the Disney villains and Ansem all team up to try and find the 7 Princesses of Hearts, because they can use them to open the path to get to the Door of Darkness. The Door of Darkness that leads to Kingdom Hearts. And yes, the Princesses of Hearts are the Disney princesses, beings of pure light. Oh, and it turns out Kairi is also one of them?
Kairi's a princess?
Wild shit, I know. So somehow, 6 of them together can make Keyblade that unlocks people's hearts? Look, Nomura comes up with some weird shit in this series the whole time, and it really only gets worse from here. My only major complaint about it is that it never happens ever again. Anyway, finding this out, Sora literally stabs himself to save Kairi. He gives up like his own form, his own sense of self, so that someone he loves can be free. It's dramatic, it's heroic. When you get older and you have like a better understanding of what sacrifice actually costs, your own wants, your comfort, pride, willingly doing that takes heart. This ends up freeing Kairi and Sora fades away, but before we can get too sad, more Heartless are coming, so Donald and Goofy escort Kairi away. However, one of those Heartless is literally the embodiment of the darkness that was in Sora's heart. So we play as a poor level 1 Heartless.
Sora?
Kairi is able to recognize that this indeed is Sora, and I guess because she has super light princess powers, she's able to give him body and restore Sora, which has major implications for like Kingdom Hearts 2, which I won't be going into in this video. However, Sora in this game is not the only character that makes sacrifice. After several boss phases with Ansem,
Kingdom Hearts, fill me with the power of darkness.
he's able to open up the door of darkness. And they got to like close this thing ASAP because, well, you got shadow monsters pouring out of it. Sora, Donald, and Goofy are trying to close it, but to actually close the thing, it turns out they have to like close it from both sides. However, Riku and Mickey show up on the other side. Riku and Mickey end up making the sacrifice to stay in the world of darkness to lock the door and save all of the worlds. This is also restores all of the worlds that were lost to darkness, even Destiny Islands. As Destiny Islands is reforming, Kairi is there. The world is literally pulling them apart as it all reforms. He reaches for her, and then she reaches back as the worlds are splitting. This is the moment where Sora could return home with Kairi. You know, you get the girl and everything, but he decides to stay on his path to try and rescue Riku and Mickey.
This is my gift, my curse. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Kairi has to like let him go through the only short-lived like reunited, not knowing how long it's going to take for Sora to like return to her again. And damn, this part gets me to kind of tear up even now as a grown man. We get the
Kairi! Remember what you said before? I'm always with you too. I'll come back to you. I promise. I know you will.
Where you've lived through the real separation and real distance, that scene hits harder. Because sometimes growing up means letting go of the world that you knew. Then, I'll carry you with me, I won't forget what you meant to me, you shaped me who I became, words that I can really relate to. You never know when you're going to see that person again. Could be a year, 4, 10 years even. It's something I think most people can really relate to. I know that I do. You're going to lose things. It's going to hurt. You're going to grow and you'll meet people who change your life. You'll fall in love and you'll become, stronger than what you think. Your light flickers, but you can make your way back.
The heart may be weak, and sometimes it may even give in. But I've learned that deep down there's a light that never goes out.
Also, thanks for listening to my rambling. Well, we've talked about the ending and what that means to me, but not where I actually want to end the video. I did want to touch on the secret ending. That's right, Kingdom Hearts 1 has a secret ending that was made for all of us to freak out and make theories about for like 4 years there. I remember scourging through like game FAQs trying to figure out what it meant. If you did all of the things in the game, you got the secret ending. That was like pretty much a trailer of the ideas for what Kingdom Hearts 2 would be. A lone figure in a black coat, rain pouring down on a neon skyline, and this kid has 2 keyblades, and he faced off against Riku, and also Mickey is there, in the same black coat. It was crazy. The new guy was like dubbed BHK for like blonde hair kid. Everyone wanted to know who this kid was. Why does he have 2 keyblades? Why is it Oathkeeper and Oblivion? Because like those keyblades are like, represent Kairi and Riku. Why is everyone in these sick ass black coats?
How was the doctor able to send email without a computer?
And where the hell is Sora?
I don't know.
This started like the hype train for Kingdom Hearts 2, and that was a time. And I will continue that in my Kingdom Hearts 2 retrospective. So if you want to like know more about what I think about that, remember to like, follow, and subscribe for more. And thanks for helping out the channel.
Who was the cowboy who confronted Johnny and Larry that night?